Well, Angus, talk us through your emotions.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I think I think maybe tonight and tomorrow it'll probably settle in a bit. But I think I was so focused on trying to get a good result today, and I was very angry when the referee decided to give a penalty and conceded, because I was very determined to get the clean sheet. But that's unfortunate, but it doesn't take away from the moment that I had at the end, and the ovation I got from the crowd was special.
Yeah, I'm sure you're sad to be leaving, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But to leave like this, to leave with everybody knowing it and to get that applause, actually there's a lot of players don't get that. So that must have meant something to you.
Yeah, no, that's something I've thought about the last few days. It's not given that people leave like that, and with a reception like that, even though there's let's be honest, not been too much success over the last few seasons. Obviously, I've grown up here, and it means a lot to me. So that was really a nice moment, and obviously, hopefully, one day I'll be back supporting the team at Carrow Road, and seeing more faces again.
And captain for the day as well.
Yeah, no, that was thrown on me last minute, to be honest, and I don't think Daisy even knew. So we walked into the restroom, and the armband was with Kenny's shirt. So I think there was a bit of a scramble to try and find one small enough to fit on my arm. It was a nice touch from obviously Jack and Kenny to do that, and nice moment for me and the kids to walk out, and it's just been a special day, really. I think obviously the win was really important as well. That's not lost on me. I really wanted to get the 3 points in that game, so 100% record as captain.
You'll never take that away from you. How about the emotions in terms of leaving, though? How much would you like to have stayed? Was there ever a conversation about staying?
The emotions, I don't know, it's a weird one. It's difficult because there wasn't really a conversation now, so it's one of them that I don't really know too much. I had a 2-minute conversation with Ben last week when he let me know, and that was it really. So obviously when it gets to sort of New Year and no discussions have been made, it's normally pretty obvious that something's not going to happen. I've been planning for that, and looking elsewhere, and trying to obviously finish the season strong, but focus on the next part of my career as well.
So in terms of the reasons for it, you said you've had a 2-minute chat there. Was it explained to you? Is it something about you as a goalkeeper? Is it the finances, the money you're on? What's the reason you've been given?
There wasn't a sort of reason that I got. Obviously, the club just want to go down a different route, and I accept that and appreciate that, and obviously, as a fan and a player, would have liked to a conversation to see what we could do, but I'm a professional as well, and I know what I'm worth, and if this club is not going to align with that, then I'm happy to go elsewhere.
It is a little bit of the reality, isn't it, in football? You come to the end of your contract at a time when a club is looking to do things differently, and you are vulnerable, aren't you?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think we've seen it last year with a few of the lads. They left it till after the playoff games to let them know, and I think probably I don't think that's the way to do it. I think my experience this season, it's better to have clarity, or it would have been better to have clarity a bit earlier, from both sides really, so I could focus a bit more, and so the club could get on with planning for the future. So I think maybe that's something that they might look at, or that's just the way they do it. I don't know, but I've really sort of enjoyed my 4 years here since came back, and obviously managed to play in the Premier League for Norwich. Managed to play in the playoff semi-final. There's lots of special moments. There's not really one I can sort of pinpoint, but just the whole experience of playing for boyhood club has been really special.
And the family links as well.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I think it's been obviously a great period for my dad to enjoy, not just me. I think obviously he comes to virtually every game, and laps it up when he goes into the gun club like today. I think I'll probably see him later in the bar, and he'll be merry as ever. Obviously now being a father myself, I know how proud you are of your children, even when they haven't really done much yet. But obviously, for me to achieve what I've achieved here and play 172 games, is that right? Obviously, I think I'm just happy I can make him and my family proud.
You just become a dad again. Congratulations on that, and that's what we need now, a third generation of Gunn goalkeepers, don't we?
Yeah, no, I have jokingly said that to a few people. We've got another goalkeeper on our hands, but I think to start with, I'll try and coach him up to play outfield, because you make more money there, and I think he looks a little bit quicker than me already. So yeah, hopefully we've got a striker on our hands this time instead of a goalkeeper.
Well, thanks for all the interviews over the years, Angus. Best wishes for whatever comes next.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
A few from me, Angus, but I mean, talk us through what this week has been like. Final session, obviously final game today. Driving into Carrow Road, I can imagine it's been emotional for you.
To be fair, like I just said, obviously with a 2-week-old, I haven't really been sort of thinking about too much. Probably a good thing. I've been focused on other things, and I've been packing my house up as well, which has been a lot of work. So there's things that I've been doing to sort of take my focus away from it, which is probably a good thing, because it was emotional, and did feel like a strange sort of day today. And like I said, I was very determined to get the win first of all. Also the clean sheet, but I was annoyed for about 10 minutes after that, and then I decided to sort of embrace the moment and just enjoy the rest of the game. And I appreciate everyone around the club and obviously the fans. It's been an amazing time.
You said it yourself, but you've been at this club clearly since you were about that high, and
probably, since I was born, really. Obviously, my dad was, I think, finished playing or just about finishing when I was born, and then he decided to take up various roles around the club. And I remember he used to be the sponsorship manager. I used to go into the offices with everyone and go into Radio Norfolk with Roy Waller. He used to go in there, I think it's every Saturday morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember that.
So I remember that, and obviously, growing up as a fan, I think my first memory was probably Cardiff, the playoff final when we lost to Birmingham. So that was, a very bad moment. I remember travelling home from there, absolutely gutted. And then unfortunately, when we started getting promoted, I was away. I was up in the northwest, and I didn't get to see many moments. I remember being in the pub when we got promoted at Wembley, watching that, having a few drinks. But yeah, like I said, I think when I finish my career, I'll be able to come back and enjoy sort of the moments, like a fan. Instead of, I think when you're playing, you sort of, you lose a bit of touch a little bit from the fans, because there's focus, and you have to sort of try and park it a little bit. I feel like sometimes it's difficult to sort of get that emotion when you're playing, because it goes a bit too far sometimes. So I think now I'm leaving, I'll be able to enjoy being a fan again.
But that's the sort of point, isn't it? Even though today feels like sort of the end of something, it doesn't really feel like the end of your association with this football club.
No, not at all. Obviously, I'll always be a Norwich fan, until the day I die. So hopefully I'll be back as a fan sooner rather than later. It'd be weird coming back as a player. I think the only time I came back was during COVID, so there's no fans, so that was pretty good, because that would have been difficult. I'm just sort of grateful for everything the club's done for me, and also really excited for the future and to see what happens.
Clearly these things are never in your hands, but in your head, did you have an idea of staying here for the rest of your career and being at Norwich until you retire, sort of ideally? Or is it quite hard as a professional to look that far ahead?
Like I say, you're kind of in a bubble as a professional. It's hard to think too much further than this season. Like, obviously I've been out of contract. I've not really thought much at all about next year, because I don't really know, honestly. I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know where I'm going to be. Could be anywhere. I think anywhere apart from Ipswich, I would say. I would take that, I've not really focused on anything past the next game for the last 4 years, and I'll just keep it that way in my career, and hopefully finish on good way. I think I've got a few years left yet, and like I said, then come back here and be a fan again.
Do you feel disappointed to have left in this way? Because the club have had a disappointing season. You're not staying on here anymore. Do you feel a bit, I don't say let down, but a little bit sad?
Obviously, I feel sad, but I wouldn't say let down or disappointed. No, I think sometimes people and situations run their course, and the club decided it was time for me to move on. And I didn't really have a decision to make in the end, so I can't say whether I would have stayed or not. But I wouldn't say I feel disappointed. I feel obviously gutted that we didn't get that promotion that we wanted. I think obviously last year was a good opportunity, even though we were probably one of the least favourites for the playoffs. But we got there in the end, and I was disappointed with what happened in the semi-final. And I think this season, obviously we're disappointed with the way it went, and personally, didn't manage to get on the pitch as much as I would have liked, and I think that was obviously big for myself, getting into the sort of rhythm of things, and also obviously the team as well. I think struggled a lot without me, so I wouldn't say disappointed or let down. I'd say just upset that I couldn't give the fans what they deserve, and a moment that they've had quite a few times recently, in the last sort of 10 years. So I think they are lucky in that sense compared to a lot of clubs around here, or not around here in the league. They've had promotions, obviously been in the Premier League, and just shame that we didn't give that to them whilst I was here. But I'll hopefully experience one as a fan in the near future.
Last one from me. You say you've packed your boxes. Does that mean you're moving house very soon, or are you moving to a different part of the country, or?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Do you know where you're going?
I've moved my family. My kids and my wife live up in the northwest, so I'll move up there for the summer, and then see what happens with obviously the club situation, and hopefully I'll be ready for the Scotland games in the summer. It'll be a good opportunity for me to get away, stay fit, hopefully get some game time, and then just see what happens. I think a lot of the times with this kind of situation, you have to wait for things to move elsewhere, and then things open up. So I'm not nervous or too worried about it, because I believe in myself and I know my worth. So I'm excited for the future, if you like. So we'll see what happens.
I'll leave you with Connor. Best
nice one, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, Angus. Final two, but you spoke about kind of the clarity. Has that affected you this season? And performances, is it inevitable that sort of uncertainty does sort of bleed into what you do on the pitch? Can you turn it off like a bit of a tap, I suppose?
Yeah, I don't know if I say it affected me, but it was definitely there, like in the back of my mind, and. Like I said before, I feel like either way, if I had that clarity a bit earlier, then I probably would have been a bit more free. I spoke to Jack last week and said like I haven't really been able to enjoy it because I've not been too sure what's going to happen. So I feel like if I had that clarity earlier, then I would have been able to sort of enjoy the last few months of the season. I've enjoyed the last two games, but I think that's maybe something the club can do a bit better.
And lastly, you came in as a number two. You've established yourself as number one. As you say, you've played in the Premier League for Norwich. You're an international goalkeeper. It's not a bad stint, that is it?
Yeah, no. When you look at it like that, I think it's not all negative in terms of achievements for the club and myself. They've given me the platform to play regular football and, like you said, represent my country at a major tournament. That was a really proud moment. So obviously I owe it to all the staff here. I appreciate all of them. Even from Daniel bringing me back in here, Ed Wotton, goalkeeping coach, Paul Clements, goalkeeping coach, really appreciate him. I feel like he took my game to the next level. And obviously, the guys that are in now, Jack and Tony and Nick, it's interesting to see what's going to happen in the future, because, I think the lads have really enjoyed working under Jack, and he set us up really well in both games, and I would like to see him get the job as a fan of Norwich. I think he can be very good for the team.
Nice,
one,
Angus.
guys. Take care,
Good
mate.
luck, mate.
Nice one.